Hi everyone, Omeza here. Welcome to my free Excel dashboard tutorial right here on YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how to create this second beautiful Excel dashboard. So we've actually started this dashboard from the scratch right from the first part of it, but right now we're going to have a completion of this Excel dashboard that helps you to actually analyze the data the way you really want it. Now if you look at what we have right here right now, every single time we make a change of the sales rep in this particular store right here, we have this change, and as well we have some information being displayed. Now we are having in 2017 Chuck's sales on target went down by 7.75 and contributed 28.6 to overall sales. So when you actually change to under sales rep in under region, so what you're going to have is this particular information as well. So this is how awesome this Excel dashboard could be. So we're going to actually learn how to create this, and I'm going to show you where we have actually created this now. If you have this change, it's given at the top retail seller as in for this particular store right here. So now what we are having right now is the cumulative analysis we have right here from 2014 down to 2018. We're having the cumulative analysis. Every single time we make a change right here, we have that cumulative analysis change to this particular sales rep. We just have switched as well. So now we have slices. We can actually use a slice on a yearly basis and on a monthly basis. So we can actually have this closed. This is exactly how awesome this Excel dashboard could be. Now we have a sales target right here. Now every sales target you choose, you can see how we made the target. So the target place was 23.7, and now this is the sales 26.8 and all that. So now if you change the sales rep right here, you're gonna see how much of the target is being met by this particular sales rep. Now let us look at what happens right here. Now it changes, and you can change the year for this particular sales rep right here. So enough of the introduction, let's see how we can actually start to create this then to have the second phase of this particular Excel dashboard created. So now let me take you to the this particular aspect right here. So now we've actually created this. If you've not watched this particular part, which is the part one of this Excel dashboard tutorial, you might want to avail yourself the opportunity of watching this right now. So what we're going to be concerning ourselves about right now is the images we have right here. Every single time we make a selection, we want to see the sales rep image changes just like the way it should be. Okay, right now let us get to that now. Okay, now I already have this particular sales rep right here. Those are the images. If you've not worked with images before, or if you've not watched my tutorials that contains images before, now this is how we go by it. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to actually make sure I have my formula tab turned on, so which is exactly what it is. Now all I like to do is just to come right here and make sure you highlight where the image is sitting. Now this is the range where the image is sitting. So I want to name this particular range right here. So this is the name I want to have for on it. So I'm just going to click right here and just type Kelly. So if I hit enter, now I have it. So I have done all this just to make the tutorial very quick. So if I select this, you can see if I select this as well, this is what it is. Right, now that we've gotten those images right here, this is what we're gonna do right now. So what we're gonna do is this: we need to get the names of the sales reps right here. This is not a complete name, this is just the image names. I'm just gonna put img here, and I'm gonna say sales reps. Sorry, sales reps in the various stores. So I want to get the names right here. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna go right here. Those are the names of the sales reps right here. So all I need to do is just to copy it from my previous analysis. I'm just gonna copy this away from here right now. So after I have this copied away from here, so I have to just click right here and link it to that particular aspect. In case it changes, it's going to change along with it. So now I have it linked to that particular cell right there. That is how you link something. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, we're going to be doing VLOOKUP from here to the name. Every single time the name there changes. What I'm trying to say right now, watch this carefully. So this name now, if I have this number changes right to 3, and this is going to change. This is what's making it to change right here. So we want to see these dynamic changes. All I'm going to do right now is just going to come here and just say selected name. So selected name is what I've named this cell, so I can use this one right here as selected name. Okay, fine. Let's see how we can actually make use of that. So what do we want to do right now? What we want to do, we want to see which one is being selected. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is just going to be this, to use VLOOKUP to actually see which name is being selected. So right now I'm going to type selected here, selected name. So selected name there, and I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to say switch. Just watch me and see what I'm doing right here. I'm going to say switch. So right now under the selected name, I'm going to say use VLOOKUP right here. I'm going to say equal to VLOOKUP. So if I say VLOOKUP, and the VLOOKUP is going to be asking for the lookup number, I'm going to be using that particular name range I have created, selected. So here is the selected name. I'm going to show you where I have this created. So comma, and the table array is this. I'm going to be looking it up from here, and from the second column, which is this is the image I want to look up, it's going to be second, and it's going to be absolute exactly. So now if I hit enter, it's going to give me checks, which is this particular. This is the sys being selected right now. Sys being selected. Let's check it out and see what it is. So right now if you look at it, that is sys being selected, and my selected is coming from here. If I actually click right here, I'm going to see that I have selected. This is what I have actually have named, so that I cannot come back to that sheet again. All I just need to do is to reference it. So right now, how do I create my switch right here? Okay, to create my switch right now, what I need to do, I'm just going to click on this particular switch right here, and I'm going to go to review. Oh, sorry, I should go to data. Oh, sorry. Okay, fine. I'm going to go to formula, which is formula right here. It has a shortcut for it, so I can click on this right now. If you click on this, I'm going to click on new, and here we go. But if I want to use shortcut for it, all I need to do is just to have this closed. I think it's going to be Alt M and N will just help me bring this up right here. So all I need to do right now is just to say, okay, it's going to be switching underscore img. So switching img. So right now we can now use indirect function, indirect. So we use indirect, and actually here is the what? Here is what you're gonna use. Then can you see this? That is the image right there. So I can actually have it closed. Now if I hit OK, and look at the magic that is going to happen right now. So if I click right here, can you see that? It's looking at that because that is what is being selected. So if I actually have it closed right now, because I've actually done this, and I'm gonna click on this to show that it's working. I'm gonna click on this and just click on copy right here, and I'm gonna go to the dashboard we have created. So right now I'm going to drop it right here. So come down to this area, and what I'm going to do right now is just to make sure I have the name. I actually created the name range. I'm going to say switch img. So if I hit enter right now, it's going to change. So now this is very weird. So I want to show you this before we go or proceed. Now if you look at this, we have a grid line on it. I'm going to actually have to remove this for now. So and go back right now. To remove the grid line, you have to remove the grid line before you copy. I'm going to go to data, go to view and hit on grid line. So the grid line is being removed. So if I now copy away from here right now, I go back to my dashboard and I have it pasted. So what I'm going to see right now is something different. The grid line is not going to have to affect it any longer. So I'm going to say switch img. If I hit enter, we don't have the grid line any longer. It looks as clean as what we really went. So now I can actually resize it, make it smaller, just like this. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is what might not really take my time to do, just like what we have in the other video or in the other part of the template. Here we have a lot of time to format it and make it as clean as it is. So for we to actually create a quick tutorial for this particular dashboard, so we might not really have time to deal with this right now. Instead, just let us have it left like this right now. This is what we've just got it. So it can be switched every single time we make a selection. We switch to different sales rep. So right now this is very awesome. This is what we wanted, right? Now the next thing now is how to get all those values right here for every sales reps. Every single time we make changes, it's going to change along with it. That is the kind of filter we want to create. Let's see how we can do that. Alright, before we proceed, I want to share the name of the manager being actually selected right here. So what I'm going to do right now, I can actually go right here and actually say, okay, I want to see the manager being selected. How can I do that? This is what I'm going to do right now. In order to show the name being selected, just click on equal to right here, and actually the name range I have right there, I'm just going to select it. If I hit enter, I'm going to have this is what it is. This is the name I've actually selected. But to have it right here is going to be very easy. So what I'm going to do right now is just going to go to insert, and from insert, what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert this word at right here. What is this? And I go to the top level. I'm going to say equal to selected name, and I have it entered exactly. That name is right here as well. So what we need to do right now is just to format it to what we really want. Okay, fine, we got it. I'm actually gonna bump it up, so put it on bold and actually have it bumped up. So you can actually choose the kind of color you feel like you want to actually have for this particular name right here. So I think I'm gonna be cool with something as dark as this. So this is what I really want for the name. So put it on bold or server. So arrange it the way it should be. So we're not really going for formatting right here. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to have to duplicate this for a purpose. So let's see. Okay, this particular sales rep been selected. Who is he? Where is he from? Which particular region is he representing? I mean, the sales manager or the sales rep, whatsoever you want to call it. So let's see how to that. Now let's do something to make it easy for us to actually get to see what we want to do. So if I click right here, this is the data set we're going to be using, or we are using for this particular sales dashboard. So what I'm going to do right now is just to click anywhere from here and go to design. If I hit on design, you can see I have this one named right here called sales data. So what we're going to do is for we actually to create a quick pivot table, but we don't want to actually go by hitting on insert and go to pivot table whatsoever. That is going to be weird. I think we can use the advanced way. So what we're just going to do is just to select any cell and click on Alt NV. So when we click on Alt NV, this is what we're going to have, the pivot table. So what we're just going to do is just to type was sales data right here and hit enter. Oh sorry, I think sales else. So if I hit enter right now, I'm going to have my pivot table just create itself. Exactly, this is what we want. It's not really magical, it's something very simple. We just created a pivot table. Instead of it to just use that other dimension, we can use this. So right now, what I need to have right now is just the sales rep down here. Okay, here are my sales reps, and I'm going to search for the region. Going to search for the region, and here we go. Here's the region, but it looks kind of weird. I don't really want something like this. I don't fancy it. So what I'm going to do right now is for me to actually click right on this and hit design, and from design I'm going to actually have it on tabular form. So I want to get down this particular grand total off, and what I'm going to do now is just make sure I take off this particular subtotal that I'm going to have on it. So no more subtotal, everything separated. So I want to take off this particular kind of sign, this plus and minus sign right here. So I'm going to go to analysis, and I'm going to hit right here. I have it cancelled. Exactly, this is what I want, because I'm going to be wanting something from here, so I don't really want it to be looking some kind of weird. Okay, fine. What I'm going to be doing now is just for me to drop the sales of the sales rep and default it to percentage. So just click on the sales. This is the sales of the sales rep right here, and I'm going to click on it to right click and actually show value as percentage of column total. So now we have something nicely done this way. So let's see what we can do now to get this particular region. I'm going to get my region right here, region. So to get my region right here, I know, you know, is as easy as ABC. So what I'm going to do now is just to get a VLOOKUP. You can use X lookup, you can use index and match, whatever you want to use. That is really cool. So what am I going to do? I'm going to say, okay, now I'm looking at this. I need something, okay, based on this, I need where is the region of this particular sales rep right here. So I'm going to hit a comma right here. So it's looking for the array. The table array is this cell table right here. I'm gonna hit on comma, but before we go, so what we need to do is just to make sure we lock this down, as we're gonna be copying this down to actually the default orders. So now it's looking for the second column. Now I want exact match. So the exact match is what I really wanted. So if I hit enter right now, what I'm gonna have, this particular sales rep is from the west. So if I copy this down, let's see, you can see is absolutely correct. So right now what we're going to be doing now is just to show some commentary on what we have right here, our sales rep be selected, so what it is that we can do. So I'm going to go back to it and say okay, I'm going to say okay, this particular so I'm going to say manager in there. So I'm gonna actually have to select something right here, but we have actually done something wrong. Let me show you a trick now, because I don't want to delete this. What I'm gonna be doing now is this. I'm gonna actually have to close this, but before I close it, give it a space, and I'm gonna say ampersand. This ampersand is going to help me to join what I really want to join. So right now, because I don't need to do anything right now, I'm going to give a space, so it's going to help me to pause this right here. So what I'll have to do is this. I don't need this any longer. It's just to make sure it helps me to look at what we are selecting right here. It's giving us this particular Cassandra. So I have deleted. I'm going to say equal to. So now we are getting to see what it is that we have actually selected. So I'm going to say VLOOKUP. This time around I'm looking for this particular Cassandra right here. So if I hit enter, this array is so 2 and I'm gonna use the exact match. So here we go. Now it's from the south. Can you see that? It's from the south. So right now this one I have post. I'm just gonna remove the post from here. I get it. Now we have to go. I'm gonna double click here. So now watch what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna say manager in what? In south. So I have this right here. I'm gonna put comma, and I'm gonna have my region right here. So in the south region, manager in the south region. So now can you see that? Manager in the south region. This is exactly what I really want to have. But I want my cell to be all encapsulated. How am I going to do that? I believe you learned about uppercase, right? So I'm just going to say upper, and if I have it upper, I'm going to have to close this here, and you can see the south region is now in what? In full uppercase. This is exactly what it should be. So right now, to just make a quick reference, and I'm going to say comment. So if I go back here right now, I'm going to reference this as comment. So just reference this as what? As comment. So this is exactly what we need to do. We've referenced this as what? As comment. Exactly. So every single time we make a selection right here, just see what is going to happen. So when we make a selection of this, so it's going to tell us manager in the east region, and when we make a selection again, and you see it's going to give us manager in the central region. Exactly, this is what it should be. It's awesome. Right now let's go to the other part of this tutorial. Right now here we get the values right here, and it's as easy as ABC or K-file. What we're going to be doing now is this. I'm going to get value for sales and others, so I'm going to cut it away from here and actually take it down to this end. Please never actually pile up everything on a single pivot table, sorry, on a single sheet, just like I'm doing. Just make sure you have double pivot table for it. It's just because I'm actually illustrating this for you to show you how to do this. So just like, okay, I'm gonna say Alt NV. Alt NV will help me get this down. I'm gonna say sales data. I'm gonna hit enter. So right now there is data in this, so I'm gonna click what the heck is wrong. Okay, for that again, I'm gonna do that again. So Alt NV, sales data. Okay, yes, so hit enter for now. So it's looking at what I have right here. So now I can actually go back and can have this posted here again. Oh, we don't have it any longer, so no problem. So what I'm going to be doing now is just to see, I'm going to be having sales. Okay, now I've gotten this right here. So what is left for me now is number of orders. So sorry, number of transaction. Okay, now how am I going to get that? Just go to your date, because we have the date column actually available in every part of this. So you can go to ID. So right now I'm going to go to ID right here and actually bring it down. So that is my ID. My ID is down to count. So now This is the numbers of what? This is numbers of transaction. But I'm gonna go to control word, and from control word I'm gonna actually use number. I don't want something like that of dollar sign on it. So if I hit enter, this is what it is. So right now this is going to respond to a filter when that time comes, but right now we're not using any of our sales rep to do the filter right now. So this is how we actually want to do this right now. So now I can actually have to name this what sales. You can name this anything you really want and get it, like okay, revenue. Name revenue, and I name this quantity whatsoever. Alright, now I have all of them named right here. If you look at it, I have all of them named, and here is what my revenue. So I can actually go to my dashboard right now. I have this referenced just the way it should be. Let me just have this done for you to see how everything is just gonna be easy. So we don't have to go back to that particular aspect again. So all I need to do is just to click on equal to and the name range of created, just say revenue, and actually navigate to it and hit enter. You have your revenue right here. This is exactly what you need to do. Alright, now that we've gotten all this right here right now, you can see what we have right here. So we want to actually make a selection of what is the sales of this particular sales rep on view. So what we're going to be doing now is just to get this particular sales rep we have right here, is just to duplicate the name and have it at the top level right here. So we're going to be doing this to all other part of it, so that when we actually show the sales of the sales rep, it will be well understood that the sales rep we have selected right now is gonna have this sales. So let's go to that. Okay, here we are at the analysis sheet. So what we're gonna be doing right here is gonna be a little bit some kind of complicated, but it's very simple. So I'm just gonna press NV again to actually bring up this particular pivot table. So sales data, I'm gonna hit enter. So right now I have my pivot table right here. So what am I gonna be doing? I'm gonna be getting the year. So I have my year selected. So now that I have my year selected, I'm gonna select this particular sales rep across it. Exactly, this is what it should be. So right now if I have done this, so what I'm gonna be doing now is to drop my sales for the first time. I'm dropping my sales. Exactly, we're gonna be doing this for sales for now. So that I've done this, I'm gonna click right here and remove everything that has to do with grand total. So go here and go to grand total. I'm gonna turn it off. So now it's off. This is what I have alone. So how do we get to all this? So first of all, I'm gonna have to select this particular year. I'm gonna copy it in case the year changes. So all I have to do is to link. Click on this particular one with this chain, just paste the link. So right now that we've pasted the link, let's see what happens. It's linked to this particular 24th thing right here. Okay, fine. Before we go further about this, so here is gonna be my year. So here is gonna be my sales manager selected. So my sales manager selected. My sales manager select my sales manager sales. So now for we to get a sales right here, let me make you understand something. Go to analysis sheet right here that we have. This is the second one, the first analysis sheet, and look at this particular number right here. This number is what is making this particular here is exactly now, and it's coming from this particular part of this, which is this where we have our select, or we call it a combo box. So it's coming from here. If I select the last one, that's gonna give me 4. If I go back, so going back right here is going to give me 4 exactly. So already I have it named. I have it named as what, name link. So we're going to be using that right now. Let me show you how to use it. So right now for me to get this particular sales rep being selected, and remember the sales rep being selected, we're going to actually see is this particular selected name right here. I'm going to go right here. I'm just say okay, selected name, just to verify it. I'm going to say equal to selected name. If I hit enter, so now we're selecting this particular sales rep. So right now for this here, I want to get this sales, I want to get this particular sales rep sales in this particular column. So what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to be using offset. So offset is going to work very fine right here. So the offset is looking for the reference, and the reference is going to be, this is the reference here. And if the reference is looking for the row number, and the row number right now, I don't provide row number for this. I don't want to use any row number. I don't want to move by any row. So I'm going to use 0, and I'm going to say comma, and the column number is going to be what I just showed you. Okay, let me pause this and show you what the column number is. So now if I have this, I have it paused already, and I'm gonna go and see. Okay, here is the column number. Instead of me to come back right here, I select this. I'm just gonna use this particular name link I have created. So going back here, remove the pause, just click on it and double click and make sure you have a cursor right here. It's been removed. So right now we can actually type in the name link right here. So if I have it closed right now, I hit enter. So this is what I have. So you can see, let's see if this is correct. So now we are selecting for what? For Kelly William, and Kelly William is this, and you can see it's actually corresponding. So I can actually select this and actually go right here and put currency, and I'm gonna say dollar, and extra decimal is gonna be removed, and if I hit enter, I'm gonna have this. So if I go and actually make sure I select this format painter and have it for every other part of it. So now here we go. So we can see what has been selected is this. So it's the same thing, and I'm gonna go right here and say okay, equal to sum, and I'm gonna sum everything together. What do I have? So if I come right here as well and do my sum, so you can see it's gonna be very much correct. Exactly, we're gonna be having something exactly the same thing. Exactly, this is what it is. So if I go back now and select something else, like okay, I'm gonna be selecting the first one. Here we go back to our analysis sheet. Everything will get to change dynamically. Now we are selecting for Anna, and here we have Anna here. Now here we go. Can you see that? It's the same thing as what we have right here. So now we've just done this. So what I'm gonna do now is just to go right here, and I'm gonna say okay, this is for what? This is for manager. I'm gonna say sales. Sales. So the sales, when I go back to my dashboard right now, I'm gonna get this down right here. Just duplicate this and have it changed to what I've just named sales. Hit enter, and here we go, exactly like this. So we just give it a little formatting, and we're going to be using this format to get everything done. So we don't want to go by this. Yeah, it's just gonna be like this. So okay, fine, make it bolder. Now here we go. If I have a selection separate from this, so I'm gonna select this. You can see it's changing. This is Cassandra sales. So now we're gonna be doing for cost of goods sold, but I'm not gonna be doing this to actually waste much of your time. So let me just do this behind the scene. Then we come back, we get things, you know, shown to you how everything's being done. Alright, we have amazingly done something like this. Very great. So if I change it, everything changes to this particular sales rep. You can see right here it's changing down to the quantity, but I'm going to show you how I have this done in a very quick way. So all you just got to do is this. I've already gotten this one created before previously. I've told you don't pile up all your pivot table in one sheet, but for the purpose of this particular tutorial, I'm having it done this way. So what you want to do is this. Just scroll down a little bit and make sure you're still seeing this in view. So just click and make sure you copy everything from here, and just Ctrl C. We're happy to copy that and come down and have it pasted beneath this one right here. Okay, now this is what you ought to have done on the sheet, but for the purpose of this particular tutorial, we can do it this way. So just remove this element from here, and when you make a remove, so for you to create transaction, what we need to do right now is to create the total transaction for this particular sales rep right here under this particular to the transaction. So we go right down to this. As we remove this, just go to this particular column with ID, just select and have it right here. It's going to default to count. So now exactly this is what we have. It has changed right here as well, because if we click right here right now, it's looking at this particular range right here. So it has picked this particular sales rep we have selected. So what we need to do right now, I can actually have it named. I can name this my trans. So if I go back to my dashboard, all I'm just gonna do is just to get this particular one away from here. I'm gonna duplicate it, and I have it moved down to this particular aspect here, and go and put my trans. So exactly, this is what I need to do. I can actually copy this particular formatting from here and give it to it. You don't have to do any other extra thing, so just have it here. Exactly, we've done something nicely. So if I go right now and put it on full view where everybody can see this, okay, if I can go to the top level, now you can see if I make changes, we have it changed as well. We have everything changed. Now everything's changed. So right now this is awesome. So what we need to do right now is to get this particular aspect where I have to show you how what we've made on a yearly basis based on this particular. So let me show you what I'm talking about right here. Now you want to share this yearly product on our insight right here. So if I make a selection, it's going to actually show us the yearly sales, and everything's going to change. Can you see that? It's changing, and you can see it right here based on 2014. You can see it right here how much sales we've made and all of that. So how can we actually default this to this? It's simple and something you can do, but you might not really have the mindset of like, oh, I think this is what it is. So let me just show you quickly how to do just that. So going back here, now I can feel like, oh, I don't want to use the same pivot table as I've used right here. I can actually insert on the pivot table. We can use this on a new sheet. Okay, so all I need to do right now is just to click on Alt NV, and my pivot table is going to come up. All I just got to do is to type my sales data. I believe you know how we got here. If I hit enter, it's going to bring my pivot table up for me. Now we can start dragging and drop all we need right here. Okay, I think it's almost the same thing we've done. We don't need to create this over and over again. I can just go Ctrl Z and I'll take it off, but I just need this particular sheet to be used for what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to go to the top level right here, and I'm going to select this particular aspect. From here I'm going to select it down to this particular end. Okay, fine, let's go down to this end. I'm going to copy this. If I go to this new sheet, all I need to do is just to have it pasted just right here. I'm going to paste it right here, and I'm gonna make sure I make it spread out like this. So now what I'm gonna be having now is gonna be my max. I'll show you where max and average. So max and average sales. So now to get my max, now you know what it is. So it's gonna be max function. So it's gonna find the max between here and here. I'm gonna be having this, and to get the average now, so I'm gonna say use average function. The average is between these years, and here we go. Oh, average salary. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna do it again. Average. And we go select this from here to down to here. If I hit enter, now this is my average sales and my max sales. So now I'm going to be selecting this from here down to here, and right now we're going to be creating a chart for this. So we're going to be charting this out. So I'm going to select here, and I'm going to select the kind of chart I want to actually have for this. So we go with this particular type of chart, and I remove this. I don't want it. So now this is the kind of chart we want to create, but we want to format it somehow to look different than what we have right here. So I'm going to be cutting this away, and I'm going to be taking this to my dashboard for now. So we got it right here on our dashboard. So here we go. So I'm going to actually have to select and make sure I maximize it. Okay, cool. So if I double click it, I'm gonna have this pop up right here. So we have this amazing format. Okay, now go to fill, and from fill I'm gonna say no fill. I'm gonna go to border. I'm gonna say no border right here. Okay, now I'm gonna be selecting inside of it. So make it more smaller. So somehow like this. So now we cannot try as much as we could to change the color of this particular chart. So I'm going to select right here. I'm going to have to change the color to something very nice that I really love to see. So what about this color? I love this color very much. So I'm going to change this color to something I really fancy most. So I'm going to use this one to be my green color. so I want to make sure it correlates with all the colors I have. I think I'm gonna be cool with this for now. So now if you look at this, if I select something like this, okay, I'm gonna select right here, and what I'm gonna be doing now is this. I'm gonna have this closed. I'm gonna say, okay, for border, I'm gonna put a solid line on it. So I'm gonna go back right here, make sure I still use the same border and color, and here we increase the weight. This is how we get what we really want from this. So the weight is being increased. We can see now it's gonna be popping up. So it's gonna be bigger than every part of pad. It makes it some kind of stand out. So it's how we create a kind of chart we want to create. So keep increasing it to your satisfaction. So if you've done that and you're okay by this, I can now actually copy this from here. Just copy this, and I'm gonna actually have to do the same thing to this particular aspect as well. So now all I need to do is just to select, make sure I'm selecting this particular aspect alone, and I'm gonna make sure I have this selected. Okay, and I make sure I get it fit. Okay, now if I go back to the top level, so I go back to fill right now, I'm gonna go to fill, and I'm gonna select the same thing for it. So now it looks exactly the same. Now we've just created a chart that we really wanted to create. So here we go, nicely looking. So we've just gotten this chart created. So this is exactly what it should be. So now what is the next thing we can do? So we might be some kind of thinking this is very simple to be done, but it's not as easy as what you think, which is what we really have right here. So how are we going to do this? Don't worry, we're going to be taking care of this. I know you really love to see what I'm doing right here, but before we go right there, let's see what we can do. It's easy. If you think of it being easy, it's easy. Let's see what we can do. Okay, I'm gonna have this cancelled. So for the first time, we're gonna show most profitable products. So how do we do that? I'm gonna go right here and actually have my pivot table dropped right here and see what it is that we can actually do to have that created. So what I'm gonna be doing now, I'm just gonna say select. I'm gonna say NV. So I'm gonna be bringing my what? I'm gonna be bringing my pivot table right here. So now sales data, hit enter. So now to get the most profitable products right here right now, what I'm going to be doing now is to bring up my product. So I'm going to go to the column of my product. So I'm going to have my product name, and I'm going to go to the profit. It's very easy. I think I need the 5 most profitable products right here. So what I'm going to be doing now is just to make sure I have this closed down for now. And if I go right here, it can actually go through here and get what I really wanted. Go to top 10, and now we default this to top 5 alone. So top 5, I'm gonna hit OK. Those are my top 5 most profitable products. So I'm gonna copy and have it here. Now I'm gonna be linking it, as I've said. Just click on this and you have it linked. Okay, fine. So what we need to do, we just every single time we select, we want to make sure it's actually having that particular field of which sales manager is being selected, and we always gotta be using this particular name link for it. So name link. Now what I'm gonna be doing now is this. Let's see what happens right here. Okay, fine. Go back here, and before we do this, I'm gonna have to make sure I don't have this here for now. So now we've gotten this. So what I'm going to be doing now is this. I'm going to have to right click and make sure I bring back this particular field, and now we go and actually select our sales rep across here. Okay, now here we go, our sales rep across here, and now we can now select here and copy this and have it down right here just to create what we really want to create. So I'm going to have it linked. And now, guess what I'm going to be doing? It's exactly what we've been doing before. You might not really think of what it is that we should be doing. And I think I'm going to be needing this right, cut it, and have it pasted beneath here. Now, we get it here, paste it here. Okay, now, it's still linked. So what I'm going to be doing now is going to be equal to offset. And the offset is looking for reference. Here is my reference right here, and what I'm gonna be using now is the row is gonna be 0. And now when we talk about the column, how many row we want to go, up or down. We don't want to go by any row, so that was why I have 0 right here. So we want to stay within this particular row. And for the column, we want to be shifting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But how do we do that? I'm going to say link, name link. So name link, and I'm going to have this closed. I hit enter. So right now, if I go by this, now I'm going to say equal to name link, and equal to what? I'm going to say equal to we're going to have to use this particular name link, and okay, fine, let me go back down here. So this is name link 4. We're having 4 selected, and this is the name we have selected name right here, Kelly William. So if I go right here and see what Kelly William is having now, is Kelly William right here, and I'm gonna say okay, Kelly William exactly is correct. Now if you look at it, 9679, it's exactly the same thing that we're selecting for right here. So this is what we need to do for you to get that. So what I'm gonna be doing now is just to make sure I have everything selected right here, and make sure I get it down. Can you see the formatting I'm gonna be doing? Okay, now what we're going to be doing now is just to give it a good format, and just Ctrl B, we give it some kind of bold and all that. So right now we kind of come here and make sure we crank up this particular value we have right here. So now just crank it up. So I think it's cool. More. Okay, fine. We're gonna go back. We're gonna go down to this particular formatting right here, and make sure we select some kind of good icon for it. That's gonna make it some kind of stand out. So we really need to get something like this right here. So now we can go by this. So exactly. So now the next thing we're gonna be doing now is for we to get is to a dashboard. So we can select this, and if you don't have, I'm gonna go to speak self only, and now if you don't have this camera right here, let me show you how to activate this camera. So just right click on any of this right here and go to what customize ribbon, and when you get to customize ribbon, what you're gonna be doing now, here we go to all what, go to all tabs. So when you get to all tabs right now, okay, now go to all tabs, all commands. So when you go to all commands, make sure you look into with this all commands right here and go for camera. You search through this particular aspect right here, you're going to see camera on this particular one you're actually searching through. So go to ace. I think we just missed camera. Now here is the camera. Select it and actually add it right here, and you could actually see it right as you actually select. So right now go back, and I'm going to show you the functionality of camera. Select it. It has taken a picture of this. So what I'm going to be doing now is just to go to my dashboard and actually click where I have to drop it. So here we go. We have it dropped right here. So now we've just gotten a picture of what it is that we have right here. So right now you can see, if I select anything from here right now, you can see we're gonna be having a change of this. Can you see that? It's changing gradually the way we just do. Now if I select this, look at what the change is gonna be like. It's very active. Now this is what I'm talking about. It's a functionality you might have not known of before, but now you know. I want to take off the border. What I'm gonna do is just to right click on it and actually go to format picture, and go to this particular aspect right here, and I'm going to say no fill. We've taken off the fill and no border. Exactly. So now if you look at it, there is no border on it. This is what we just have, and it's responding to our filters. So now I'm going to close this away from here. Now we need sales by category view. How do we do that? It's very simple. Just go back to the same place again, and what I'm going to be doing now is for we to actually come right here and make sure we are having this pivot table right here. NV will help us do that, and I'm going to go to sales data, and now what we're going to be doing now is just to make sure we have our category down right here, and what we're going to be doing this by sales, right? Yes, we're going to be doing this by sales. I'm going to select sales, and this is all we need to do. And the next thing we're going to be doing now is just to make sure we select our sales rep across of it. So I don't need to show this over and over again because I've done this before, just to make sure our time is very not much. Right now, this one is ready right here, so we can do the same thing again to copy it down to the particular aspect. But before we do that, let us just give it a very good formatting right here. So what I'm going to be doing now is just to go to currency and select the right currency for it. So right now you can select any currency of your choice if you are following up with this. So right now I'm going to be doing the same thing to this as well. Make sure you have it selected. Control 1 will help you get there. So now I'm going to go to currency and I'm going to actually have to remove all this. So now we have this. So right now what we need to concern ourselves much about right now is this. Go to the top level right here and select this Pix family. So now we get it selected. So we go to a dashboard, so we can have it pasted right just here. Now exactly where we have it in the part of a dashboard. So now if you see what's going on right here, it looks kind of awesome, right? So now we're almost there. So this is the other part I'm going to be showing you right now, which is this particular aspect right here. If I click here, this is what I have. So I'm going to be having this. So for that, it's looking weird right now. I'm going to select okay. I'm going to go to bring to the top right here. We'll see what it is. So now here is what we have. You'll be surprised, how did I get all this? How did you click right here and it disappears as well? So if you've not watched most of my tutorial before, I've actually created this from the scratch. So I'm going to show you how the code works right now, but you can actually look at where I wrote the code from the scratch so that you can learn from it. So right now let's get down there. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to go to developer, and from developer you select Visual Basics. So this Visual Basics will take us to where we have the cards. This is a simple code that is doing that. So what this sub is doing is this sub is actually what is making us. Let me just minimize this. So if you look at this sub is what we call info. That is show info. It's exactly the bot for the button. The sub is for the button, and it's marking the territory of our code, so that if we have any other code that we don't want this to actually have any effect over to throw any error, so the sub is going to be closed and new code is going to come down right here. And after that we said with active sheets, which means this particular code can be used in another sheet outside this particular sheet. So when a sheet is active, this code can be called right there and it's going to work. So right, and we said okay, if active sheet dot shape, which is this particular shape right here, which is group 72 group 74. So if I go and click here and I click right here, you can see we are having group 74 right here. Don't worry, very soon we're going to be affecting this and you see how everything works. So now let me show you again what it is that it is doing. So we say if this group 74, if this active sheet has a particular shape in it called group 74 and the visibility is false, which means it's not showing, then if it is clicked, which is active sheet dot shape, and the group 74 is being clicked, which is particular show info is being clicked, and this is the one we assigned it to, this particular shape we assigned it to is being clicked, let it be true, just like what we have right now. It's showing because it's now true. And else if it is clicked again, let it be false, just like what I'm about to do. So if I go right here and click on this, so I'm now turning this to what? To false. It's now false. This is exactly what the code that is working right now is false right here. So this is all I want to show you, and because we have if open, so we can close our if and our wait will be closed. So if you have any of this not closed, it's not going to work, it's going to throw out some error. So just watch more of my tutorial, you will understand how everything is being done. I wrote it from the scratch, and as I'm writing them I explain them into detail. So let's get at it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing right now, if I click right here, I'm going to have this activated again. So now all I need to do is just to get this particular sales rep. I'm going to have to what? I'm going to have to duplicate this, and I'm going to bring this down to this particular aspect right here. So make sure I have it inside here, but I'm not going to be doing much of that formatting right now. I'm just going to make it some kind of smaller just to show you how this should be done, so you can do that yourself if you want to follow along on this. Now that we have this right here, so the next thing we're going to be doing now is to have the name of the sales rep as well right here. Just bring the name of the sales rep and duplicate this as well to be right here. So let's do the magic together. So we'll bring this on. So we're trying to change this. Okay, here we go. And I'm gonna go right here and make sure I give it a very nice color that's gonna be standing out. Yeah, this is standing out on the background. So right now if I close this, it's not gonna work. This is gonna be here all over, right? But we can actually fix this later, and I'm gonna show you how to fix this on that particular code. So stay tuned and watch to the end of this video. If you are still here, please hit the like button, share my video, and actually hit on the subscribe button if you've not been a subscriber before. So now that we've done this, what we need to do right now is the most amazing part of it. So let me show you the finished product of this. Alright, here we go. If I click right here right now, what we are saying is this. Aside this comment we have right here, this is something very huge. So we want to actually show cumulative transaction, cumulative sales, and cumulative what? And cumulative profit. So how do we do this? You might be thinking it's very simple and easy, but it's not that simple and easy. If I go to this product analysis now, I think this analysis too. Now this is what we've gotten. This is this. So now can you see this? So it's not really what you're thinking. So let's go and create that right now and see what it is that we're trying to actually achieve. So I'm gonna go right here, click on this. Here we go. So now I want to use a new sheet. Go get a new sheet, and now we're going to go and Alt NV will help us do this, and we type our sales, what our sales data right on it, sales data. So we click it, and I'm going to be doing for the first time, I'm going to be bringing my year down here. So my year is right here. So now what I'm going to be doing now is, after my year, I'm going to be bringing my sales, and I want my profit. After my profit, I want my cost of goods. So do you think that is going to work? It's not going to work. How do we just switch between all this, right? I don't want to switch between all this just like that. So what I'm going to be doing now is this. I'm bringing sales for the first time. So now here is sales, and I'm going to go for my sales reps or the regional manager, whatsoever you want to call it. And now here we go. We have this already, right? So what I'm going to be doing now is this. I'm going to be copying this year from here. I'm going to copy this away from here, and I'm going to have to link it in case anything changes. It's going to change along as well. Make sure you do this always. And what we're going to be doing now is the same thing we've done over and over again. It's going to be very fast, or it's to run. I'm going to be doing this, and what I'm going to be doing, comma on it, 0, comma, and name, you know what it is. So we select this. So now that we've done this, we've just done this for what? We've done this for sales. So what we need to do now is copy this, and we do the same thing for what? So we do the same thing for revenue. So I'm going to get this away from here right now. So I'm going to be doing this for profit. Sorry, I'm going to be doing this for profit. So what we need to do is to do the same thing for what? For profit. Offset. So we offset here. So 0 and name link. So we have this for what? For profit. So the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to get for what? For transaction. That is the total transaction for the year. So I'm going to select here. You can just copy, and we go by this Ctrl V, and we turn this to transaction. So what we're going to be doing now is to get it away from here, and I'm going to go for my ID. Go for my ID. My ID is going to be default to what? To count. So count is going to give me total transaction, and what I'm going to be doing is going to be the same thing. Offset. We offset here, and if I see comma, so we're going to be having 0, comma, name link. So if I hit enter, exactly this is what I have. So now I've gotten all of them right here. So all we need to do is just say transaction, and this is gonna be my profit. So this is gonna be my sales, right? So what we need to do right now is just select right here and right click on it. This is where something good is going to happen right now. So what I'm going to be showing now, go show by what? By running total. So on a yearly basis, it has just changed that. So now this is how running total works. So I'm going to show you what it is. It's accumulation of sales. So show by what? Running total. Yeah, yearly. So this is going to change as well. So let's show this by running total, and I'm going to be doing this. We can use formula to actually have this done, but this is very waste time consuming. Now it's not going to consume much of a time. So now here we go. Can you see that? So now is this actually, let me show you what I'm doing. Now if you look at what we have right here right now, we're having in the 2014 we're having 346. So the 346 now is going to be adding itself to our 2015 sales. We have this add itself to 2016 sales. We have this all through, and this is exactly what we need. So if we go back here, so we're going to be seeing this, and here we go. So we can now share this with what? We can now share this with a bar, with some bars just to help us to get a very nice visual. Okay, we can go to insert, and we insert this bar. I want to use bar all through. I can use this bar, and I'm gonna come here and using that color bar that's gonna make it stand out. Okay, go here, and I'm gonna use this bar, type of bar, and I'm gonna repeat the same color of green. So repeat the same color of green. So exactly something like this is good. So it's showing us how everything went. So it's adding up, it's getting bigger and bigger and over again. This is exactly what we need to do to have everything done the way it should be. So now I'm gonna select the header. So go for this header, and I'm gonna make what is here bold and even crank it up a little bit, and I'm gonna put it on white. So exactly, so what I'm gonna be doing now is this. We don't need any total again for this. As for now, we don't really need any total for this. So if I go right here, we can see what we have. So what we're going to be doing now is just to select here, just select right here, and make sure you expand it a little bit, just small, increase it. Okay, fine, we've just got this done. Okay, so we cannot take a shot of this right now, so we just take a shot of this and take it up pivot table, our dashboard. So go to the dashboard right here, and I have it dropped down here. So exactly, this is what we have. So this is what we have, but we want to make it stand out. So what we're going to be doing now is just to right click on it and actually go to forward, and we go for reflection, and we go here, and I'm going to select this. Okay, fine. So exactly, so we can go right here and make sure remove the, it's not going to be cool. So we just need to leave this on white background, and what we're going to be removing is the border away from it. So no more border, and it's awesome just like this. So you can see if we make a selection right here, what we're going to be having is something different. Can you see that? Let's see. It's responding to every filter we place in it. You get it? It's responding to every filter we place on this. So I'm going to be taking care of the picture, but I'm not going to show you how to do this. You can always do this all yourself, because I'm going to be having the picture inside or outside this particular aspect right here. So now let's take care of what we have right here. How can we create something like this to show us what it is that has been selected, and what is the contribution of the sales rep, which is in 2018 the contribution of this particular sales rep based on, you know, up and down stuff like that. So now let's get on it. Okay, now we are back to where we created this particular type of chart. Okay, which is this very type of chart. I'm going to actually have to deselect this one for now temporarily. Okay, now where we created this type of chart right here, this is exactly where we are back to right now on the back end. So now if we go back there, I'm going to go to my analysis sheet. If we go back there, this is what it is. So what I'm going to be showing now is sales and targets difference. So sales and target difference. So how am I going to get that? I'm going to say equal to the sales from target right here. It gives us just this. So it's just 2.3. And now the next thing I'm going to be getting right now is just this. I want to get the status. So I want to get the status. So what is the status? For me to create the status right now, I'm going to go to the top level right here, and I'm going to go to insert, and from insert I'm going to insert this symbol. I will have to insert this up and down arrow, insert it, insert this as well. I'm going to insert this, so I'm going to have to close this down. So now the first thing I'm going to be doing now is this. So we're going to be creating this. I'm going to say if, let's say the status, if targets, this is the targets right here, is what is greater than what, than sales. So this is gonna be, I'm gonna say down, down, else is gonna be up. So it's gonna be up, and I'm gonna have to close this. Now I'm having up. So now what we're going to be doing now, the reason why I'm having this arrow right here, I'm going to copy this arrow, copy it, now go here, and where I have down, I'm going to have the arrow here, and I'm going to copy this arrow from here as well. So where I have up, I'm going to copy the arrow, so because I'm going to be needing this in the jiffy, and make sure the arrow is here. Can you see that? This is showing right here. I can actually give it a color, so just go right here and select this to be some kind of, no, it's cool. So now here we go. So now we are almost there to create what we really want from here. Okay, now let's get something right here. If I change this from 4 to 1, you can see it's giving us up, and if I change this to 4, here it's giving us down, and down is on minus. So now let me show you where this number is coming from. This number is coming from this particular aspect right here, and it's based on what we have just selected from this particular sales managers, or whatsoever you want to call it. So now if I go back now to my analysis, so what am I going to do now? Going back to my analysis right now, I want to see the year being selected. So the year being selected is 2017 right here. So how did I get that? I get that with the use of index. So I'm going to actually clear it off, and what I'm going to be doing now, I'm going to say index, and the index is looking for array, so I'm going to provide this array right here. So for the column number is going to be this column here, and I have it closed. When I hit enter, now everything is here. I can see it, we get it corrected. So now we have to actually start using this to create this commentary that we've just seen right here. Going back to this particular dashboard here. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the dashboard, and now we need to create something like this. In 2018, Chuck's sales on target went down by, so you want to actually create it so that whoever is actually reading this analysis will definitely understand what is going on. So I'm gonna say in, do you think this is gonna make sense? It's never gonna make sense. So now we just have to use this quotation mark. So, and the quotation mark right here, before that give it to space, and now we concatenate it with this in 2017. So comma right now. So now because we want to concatenate it again, I'm just going to use this same ampersand right here. Now in 2017, what happens? So we want to get the name of what, of the sales rep being selected. So what is the name of the sales rep being selected? This is the name of the sales rep being selected right here. So if in order to verify that, we can actually go and pause this right here. Now we can go down to this end, and you can see is this particular center. So now I'm gonna go right here and go right, and here we go. So now in this particular year, so we've just got this right here. So we're gonna have to put this double quotation mark just to give a space on it, and now I'm gonna concatenate this particular sales rep on it. Don't worry, you won't understand what is going on. So I'm gonna click here. So now we'll concatenate this on it. So which means in 2017 Cassandra. So we have to close this, and we go by this again. Sales went, that is sales on target went. So now we just have to concatenate it again, and we use the ampersand. Just make sure you follow all the steps I'm following right here. Says that is went, so we're gonna actually have to use this went, and we have to close this again. So that is went down, so we just need to use the quotation mark. I'm gonna say by, so give it a space and quotation mark again. By what? Now we need to actually join the percentage, so we use this as ampersand again. This is this percentage, exactly. This is what we need to do, and we have it closed. So it's exactly what we need to do. And now we can actually use double quotation again and contributed and contributed. So another ampersand again. So we are just going to use this sales what? This sales percentage. Contributed this particular 32.2%. So we have to close it again. So now we open under quotation mark to the overall. That is going to be to the overall sales compared to other sales managers. So now we have this closed. So let's see how this works if I hit enter. So I'm going to hit enter. So if I hit enter, this is what I have. It's some kind of weird, right? But we can actually correct this. So what we are having right now is that our percentage has actually lost its formatting. So we can actually correct that. That is where the big deal is. So what we're going to do is just for you to click back right here and actually take care of that. So we need to know the cell that is actually carrying our percentage. That is exactly what we need to actually put in consideration. So this is our percentage right here with this green. So what we need to be doing now is to use text function. So use the text function right here and come down to the end and have your comma on it. Open the first quotation mark and 0.0%, and we'll close this. So if I now hit enter, I'm still gonna have some kind of weird error right here. So let's correct this and see what is going on right here. Okay, the reason why it's not really working is that this quotation mark we have opened, if I hit enter right now, it's going to throw out an error because of this particular quotation mark we have opened, and it's like, oh, we've not really closed it. So if I come right here and have it closed here and hit enter, what's going to happen? So we are having our percentage. Can you see that? 7.8%. So now we can actually go double click on it and see what is the other percentage right here. This is it right here on R, and we can actually trace it back to this particular aspect and say text. So if we go on text and we're gonna see comma, so open 0.0% and have it closed, then you close the bracket. When you enter it, you can see it's 32 point this, but we don't really have space on it. So just go back and make sure you have the proper spacing on it. So now we can actually space this everything. Okay, hit this and here we go. So we've just gotten this. So if we go back to dashboard, we can actually bring this in, and it's going to be very easy if we can actually name this cell to be comment 2. I think I have a document before now. So now I can go here and actually select anything from here. I can select this, duplicate this and bring this right here, and all we need to do is just to change this to comment 2. So we have this. So properly to fix it, we can actually make sure we select. So exactly, we're making good progress on it on this. So we'll still make a selection just to make sure it's sitting right within where we really want it to sit. Okay, fine, we go this way. Can we see this? So we can go and actually make sure we give it the right color. And select bold. For it to be much more readable, we can really crank it up a little bit. Now this is what we have. Awesome. Now that we've just gotten this done, so what are we gonna do? every single time we make changes, it's going to change along with our sales reps. So now look at what happens right here. Everything is changing, and the up and down arrow is actually showing what it is that we are doing. But I told you, I'm not going to be concerning myself about this formatting of a thing. You can format the image the way you really want it, as I've just done the formatting right on this particular one right here. If I go right here and select the dashboard, so what you're going to be having is this. Now it's well formatted, so you can't really see it go out of the circle right there. You can see everything's really working well for us right here. Everything's working for us. So right now what we're going to be doing now is just to make sure we take care of this. So every single time I click on this, what's going to happen is that I have this topic here, and it's going to make my dashboard to look some kind of weird. So what I'm going to be doing now is just to make sure I select this. If I select this, watch something. So I'm going to click on this particular aspect right here. It's actually giving us group 74. So I'm going to be selecting this and select this with this right now. So I'm going to actually group this together. I'm going to say group, and now it's now 25. It's group 25. So if I try as much as I could to actually make sure I close it, it's going to throw out this error. The item with the specified name wasn't found, so the bug. So I'm going to actually change this to 25. Just change this to 25. Change this to 25 as well, and the last one is going to be this to 25. So we can actually say okay, now reset and hit on this. It's gone, meaning everything is okay and it's as clean as whatever you think of. So if I go right here right now and say view, and I'm going to go towards I'm going to go to my bar. I hide my bar right here. Now you can see what I've just gotten. So now bring it on. Here we go, nicely. Then try to change this to something like this. This is awesome. Very well, exactly what we really want. So what is going to be the last thing now is for we to actually get our what? We need to get our sliders right here. As you can see, we have sliders on this one, and the sliders we have right here is yellow slider. We can go. I'm not going to be actually making this slider to be on every part of them, but I'm going to actually make sure I try as much as I can to have the slider. I'll show you how to put in the slider. It's a very simple aspect of it. I'm going to say slider. I'm going to do for year and month. So year and month. So go. So now we can select our slicer, select everything, and cut it away from here and take it to a dashboard. That is exactly what we need to do. We take this to a dashboard right now. So go here. So we have our slicer right here. So now to actually have to link our slicer to any part of this particular analysis we've done right here. So what we're going to be doing now is this. I'm going to go down here, select. I really want to do, I won't do for this for the first time. So select here. I want to show you something. Okay, fine, I get this. Go and select and go. Connect, and I just connect my slider based on month and year. I have it connected exactly. So right now I can select this particular one right here and go to what? Go to slider settings, and from the settings I'm gonna go and remove this, and I'm gonna hit OK. Now everything is gonna be hidden. So now I can bring my slider down right here and actually select here to make this slider setting. So go to the top level. We go and make sure we have the slider set to do what we really wanted. Okay, and I'm gonna go. So we increase it to what we really feel like we call it. So something like this is really cool. So now that we've just gotten this, now we have to just reduce this. So this one is very easy. Just to click on it and go to the top level right here and hit on this and give it 12. If I hit enter, it's what I'm gonna have. So right now I'm gonna actually have to expand it and make sure I get it this way, and I'm gonna actually have to reduce this, and this time around I have to go to the top level and actually have to change this. Okay, reduce this to 11 or okay, I'm gonna still reducing it, so make it 2. Yeah, now we can actually right click and do something amazing. So I'm gonna right click on it and I'm gonna actually go to my slider settings and I'm gonna hide it away. Now here we go. So we've just gotten this. You can drag this down here, so to give it a very nice setting. Now can make sure I have this sitting right at this particular spot here. So we're gonna reduce this as well. So right now I can go back and actually go and reduce this. So one more time. Yeah, I have something nicer like this, and I can actually go make sure I remove some of this. Nicely done. So I have something like this. So if I want to select, I can select this. I have already preset this, so that is cool. If I go right here, I make shift selection and I go here and I select this, and you can see the color is sitting right on my dashboard. If I go to the top level right here, I'm having it to be very well. Okay, so if I make a selection of 2016 right now, what you're gonna be seeing now is everything right here is going to change to that of 2016. Now if I select this month right here, so what I'm going to be having right now is that this particular aspect is going to actually change based on the month selected and here. Now in this particular month of May, so we're going to see what we've selected right now. It's actually okay, taking a little while to get itself filtered. So now we can actually have to close everything down right here, so we can't see this any longer, but we can read through our analysis like this. In 2017, Cassandra brand deal sales on target went down by what? By 7.8%. So right now if we go and actually hide this away from now, we have 40% right here, and you can see 37.2 is what it's been made. So you can change based on the year. You can see any year being selected is what we're gonna be seeing. So we can actually go, if we select on 2018, we can see the target based on 2018 is very high, 70, and 0.4 is what is being made. And this is exactly what I want to show you how to create. I believe you know how to do all this. You can actually bring this on. It's very simple. I've actually created this, but we are actually done from here right now. So thank you very much for watching. If you are still here down to this end, you are a good subscriber. I want to say thank you very much for watching down to this particular end right here. So I really appreciate you staying and your patience, all of that. So I hope you learned something. You might really want to use the comment section to actually talk to me and actually request for this particular template if you've not just gotten it, and if you've gotten it, just follow it up one by one and see what it is that I have done right here. Thanks for watching. See you on my next video.